people, welcome to another edition of Gentleman Dog Portrait. I probably clipped the audio on that, and that's fine.
Hey, what's going on?
Way to mellow us down. Way to mellow it out. Alright, I'm Dean.
I'm Michael.
And we're here to talk about stuff. Namely, at the time of recording, something big has happened in America. Just yesterday.
That's right.
Yep. Gay marriage is now legal everywhere. It's no longer piecemeal. We are now one nation that has marriage for LGBTQ.
Which is awesome.
That's a long friggin' time coming. There's a map that shows the history of that, just showing what states had it illegal, which states had it statutory banned, which states said it's okay. And it was it was a lot of black at one point, and then I think last year a good number of them. I wish I was more knowledgeable on this. I really do, but I want to know the chronological order of all the states.
Yeah, several states.
It was a big handful of states at the same time, and then you saw just the last one. Everything's green, everything's gold now.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel in history now, people are gonna look back and see that these states did this. And then it eventually reached the tipping point, and got enough inertia. Where
it's better than being the last state, period. 49 out of 50 states, is we're accepting, it, and then you're we're the haven where it doesn't allow it. And it's why? What's so great about you? I think I remember seeing on the thing that Alaska was the first to constitutionally ban it. And I'm really? Is that really a problem for you guys up there, or was that a power move by Palin? I don't know. What I do know is that there are several pastors that need to self-immolate just because of what they said.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it, even though I'm not. I mean, I haven't been the most avid supporter, but I've been do you support gay rights? Yeah, why not? Really?
Mm-hmm.
But I do know people in the community. I know they're happy about it. What is it? Pride Day tomorrow? That's going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah. I was actually on the way home today, and I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but there was a pack of gay guys together, all getting on the Long Island Railroad.
Is that the group version? It's a pride of lions, a murder of crows, a pack of gays.
A pride of gays.
That would make so much more sense. A pride of gays.
But I don't know. I guess it's just the thing is that they're in the middle of they're in Woodside, and so they're all taking the railroad. People on the weekend often take the railroad to go to the beach, and you see a bunch of girls in bathing suits and their boyfriends, and so I don't know if this was just
that whole crew, that whole handsome crew.
But they all, it was funny. Yeah, they all looked really. They looked like they could have been models. These guys, they were all had their hair cut real crazy and
so fashionable.
Yeah, but
fabulous.
Also they looked good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what
not just their clothes and stuff. They looked like they could have been models.
I think that's a positive stereotype that gay people have over straights, and that's if you're gay, odds are if they know nothing about your physical appearance, they're going to assume that you take really good care of yourself.
I mean, there was another guy there that was definitely gay, and he was with this girl and they were separate from this group, and you could see he was I don't know.
I think there's something just about both gay and female fashion sense. If I never had a girlfriend that cared about my appearance, I would still be wearing baggy shirts and pants that are a few sizes too long. I'd be I would look like a friggin' slob. But now I look like less of a slob.
Mm-hmm.
But still slobbish.
I didn't know you
it's
before,
the hair.
So I can't.
It's the hair. That's one thing that cannot be tamed.
I think a lot of that has to do with accessories. I think
maybe
in life,
well, accessories are that thing that they're not essential. So when people hear, "Oh, I don't have to go out wearing this," fine, I won't.
Right. There's some people that are very minimalist.
But they had a good accent. I wore a ring for the longest time,
mm-hmm.
And I thought that just that added to what I was doing.
It changes who you
appear
to be.
But it also made people think that I was like married, and I'm like, this has like a rock on it. You realize,
put it
right?
on like a different finger, maybe.
Maybe, but it's also supposed to be on the wedding ring is supposed to be on the left hand, and I was on the right, and people were like, "Are you married?"
Well, I guess they just see a ring.
Do I look married?
They don't really consider that, but
although I did know people who like were engaged like back in high school, and like they weren't like the trashy kind of engaged. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or they weren't like army wife. It was just like, okay, well, we're normal people. We're just getting engaged, and they were like 17. I'm like, really? Fucking really?
Mm. It's pretty young to do that, I guess.
If anything, when people say like homosexuality is ruining the sanctity of marriage, I think it's just people that don't really know what the fuck they're doing that are ruining it. They're just kind of like, well, marriage seems like the next step, and then it's like, okay, well, do you guys like each other?
I think it's there's this I think it's the cause of it is a stretching of our, I don't know.
I think it's people that just don't like. There are a lot of things that we don't take seriously anymore, and unfortunately, for some people, marriage is lumped in there. Well, when you hear about, okay, well, you realize this is forever, right? Oh, but there's always divorce. It's like, but that's not the intended effect. You know what I mean? It's not, if this doesn't work out, we can just do it over with someone else.
I think a big part of it was that it just wasn't as acceptable to divorce before, but I don't think marriages were better.
No, like they weren't. I think you were trapped in loveless marriages.
It's still like a thing
that's where that whole joke comes in. Like, oh, well, they can get married now. Now they can be miserable like the rest of us. I'm like, okay, there's actually a hint of truth to that. How many times have you heard people like stay together for the kids?
Yeah,
that's what Moral Oral was based off of. You know?
Yeah, it's very like marriage is maybe a tough thing for people. Maybe people aren't like built to do it, and it's possible with a good relationship that you can do it, but like, well, I think most people I think are, you know,
well, I think there's also a factor that since I think we're living longer, or maybe it's now trendy to still be like a party person and still be wild and free like up until you're 30.
It's stretching our youth out, and so like people are going to school until they're 30 now, or 25, 28. It used to be you would finish high school and get a job, right? And then college became more and more prevalent through the decades, and now it's like you have to go to college, so you're at least going to be 20-something when you get out of school. But
now it's like, okay, well, now the younger generation that was told, okay, well, now you got to start being serious at an early age now. They're growing up and they're like, we don't have to do this. So you're seeing them like partying like well into their 30s, and they're not really like they don't want to take a marriage or relationship seriously, because why would they need to? Why would anyone need to? No one tells you have to do something now.
The internet too.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah,
what you're not going to see the.
You're a free spirit. You can do whatever you want, and that's cool. That's cool.
You're not going to see people who you're not going to see responsible people on the internet. MTV doesn't have a show called I'm 16 and Responsible. You know what I mean? Right. They have shows about people who make mistakes, who take risks, who party. Like, that's what you're going to see on a YouTube video. Somebody who's crazy, or somebody, you know, and so that's what, like...
Although the troubling thing with it is,
I feel like we assume more people are having more fun, and we should be still having fun, and... Yeah. I'm 35, but I saw this guy on the internet. I think the
troubling thing is, though, when people are getting married later, they're also having kids later, and that's like... We haven't, like, grown to handle that yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely come out, and this is almost, like, unequivocally proven. Like, the later you have kids, the worse off they are.
Yeah. Your window is, like...
Your window's pretty damn short.
Like, once you're 40, it's like, no, you shouldn't have kids, probably.
Yes, that's exactly it.
After that, it's just crazy. Like,
I mean, you could still do it, but just...
People have done it. There's a few things. I think Down syndrome, like, chances go way up. Like, all these things
skyrockets.
Like, your genetics were made for you to get to a breeding age and, like, have a kid, and then, like, because your chances were that you would die somewhere along the way. Which
that sounds like the nature's cruelest joke.
Like, if you,
when I found out that a woman's sex drive, like how a man's sex drive is like at its peak
Yeah.
18 to
like
25.
18 or something. Yeah.
But like a woman's sexual peak is like in their 40s.
15 years later or something.
It's like near their
later.
40s, and it's like, okay, wow, that is really cruel.
It's like 35.
Because there's no you shouldn't have kids at that point, and your body's telling you, I want to just fuck. Maybe that's it. Maybe we're like realizing, okay, well, I still have working sexual parts. Maybe I should just like keep this going.
I don't know. People do.
I don't know.
Well into old age.
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, more sex than people are comfortable admitting.
Yeah, it definitely happens.
You know what? It's not one of those things. I never want to think about it, but I think once I'm like 70, I'm probably going to have like that fleeting thought, like, should I still fuck?
I don't think I'll ever think like that. I don't know, but
well, if you start thinking like that, then you'll have to like go down that road of, do my grandparents have sex? And you don't want to start thinking, no. Oh,
my grandparents aren't alive, so
I have one grandparent that's alive, and
So
she definitely does not. I am almost sure. Shut up.
Let me have this. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Let me have this.
Let me
just
once you reach a certain level of like
age.
Yeah, I think it's if it becomes hard to do regular things, it's going to be really hard to do.
But I enjoy it.
Irregular things.
You know what? It's going to be a very sad day when it's like, holy shit! It's been a week since I masturbated. It's going to be a very dark day in my history, and that's the day I'll probably like develop a drinking problem.
Oh my gosh!
Why are you having gin with dinner? It's been a week since I masturbated. Not in front of the kids.
I think if you realize it after a week, I mean, I feel like you wouldn't miss it because you wouldn't want it. If you wanted it, you'd be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean?
No, yeah, I get that, but now it's like a habitual thing. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like I've been surfing the internet for like 2 hours. I wonder what porn is out there now.
It's hard to say what is like. I don't like what's a part of life and like what's a habit that's not like. Do you feel like that's a natural part of life? Do you think people in the olden days like?
I'm almost certain that
it's got to be very. Like,
I think people did it, but
different.
very shamefully. Since they were told, okay, well, it's a sin.
Well, yeah, but still, like I don't know. It's still like I don't know. People aren't just like, yeah.
Do you think the ancient Egyptians masturbated?
I was thinking like there has to be civilizations where it predated that shame and it was acceptable or something.
You know what?
Or it
that
was even like favored, I'm
going to say definitely the Greeks, ancient Grecian civilization.
You could just like be sitting on a park bench, like
sitting.
You could
like Aqualung.
The judge in front of you in court is just like, like it's a thing that honorable people can do in public.
I know I'm sentencing you to death, but I'm hard right now. I'm not hard because of this. Just fucking let me have this. You can't see behind the bench anyway.
You're privileged to do this, what if masturbating in public, or just like whenever you being allowed to do it and not be in trouble for it, and you're maybe in privacy, maybe not in like I'm saying, but
definitely ancient Greek civilization.
What if that privilege?
They had sex with the young boys back then. Socrates was like, "Hey, let's lay with these young dudes."
I was gonna say, I can't imagine the Romans being like, "This is horrible" or something.
Hey, Socrates, how you hanging? Oh, let's find out. And he just starts. Yeah. Oh my God.
People were all into.
Let's find out.
Nude statues and stuff then too.
Yeah, they were. So
I guess were they naked most of the time?
No.
They had clothes. They had chiffon, whatever.
Chiffon.
They
had the togas.
Togas, yeah.
I thought like the togas were just for like the scholars and like maybe there was something else for like the plebeians.
A burlap sack.
Yeah, did it say potato on it or simply potate since they could not afford the O? An eye for an eye. Give me your burlap sack. For my daughter, she has been cold these winters. But I shall starve. Well, you should have thought of that.
Doesn't it like can't get that cold there, right?
I don't know. Well, it's like how Florida collectively shuts down whenever there's snow.
Yeah.
Or like if it's like 50 degrees, like they're like, oh my god, it's too cold for school. They need like heating there. It's like, really? Fucking really?
My uncle always would say to me, we worked in a business together, and his older brother was in charge of like the climate of the office, I guess. So he would say, it's unbelievable. In the summertime, they need to have the air conditioning set so that it's like 60 degrees in here. In the fall, when it's 60 degrees, they have to put the heat on, to make it 70 something. And he was like, it's all psychological. When it's 50 degrees, they want it to be higher. When it's higher, they want it to be lower. And
yeah. Speaking of lower, speaking of lower parts of the nation, how do you feel like the southern part of the United States, the ones that were basically against gay marriage no matter what, how do you think they feel about all of this? How do you think they feel about this week in particular? Because gay marriage is up. Affordable Care Act has been made constitutional by the Supreme Court too. I think that was on the same day. You can't strike it down now. You can't take that away. And the Confederate flag is now the most taboo thing according to the rest of the nation. Whereas I haven't seen a lot of people say, look, you can't take that away.
How did this start? The Confederate flag thing that just happened?
It was the shootings in Charleston.
Right. Yeah, so that guy...
Because the guy was outwardly racist. He was unapologetic.
I'm hoping to start a race war or something.
He was literally look, this is what I believe, man.
Yeah, which was a pretty
It's
wild,
horrific. It was horrific, but it was wow, okay, well, it's weird because...
To me, it's
as much as hateful as hate speech was and race speech, as hateful as hate speech was, that's really redundant.
Yeah.
As bad as it was still protected, but it was still incredibly taboo. You could say it to a federal judge, something racist, but I mean, your boss could definitely fire you for that.
Yeah, well, but
because free speech only really protects you from the government, not from everyone else.
Is not, I don't care really what you believe, but you shouldn't be.
No, you shouldn't be killing people in the first place. It really doesn't matter what the reason is.
If this is your thing, and you feel very passionately about it,
I think
there are people that have beliefs and they're just not so passionate about them. I think that people should get married.
The big issue about his reasoning for it was because when you give a reason for why you do something terrible, there might actually be people that say, okay, well, I support that reasoning. He's a hero to the cause, and that's what happened here. There were racists out there that said, okay, well, the church needed to be cleansed, and that's why he did that. And it's that's terrible. He's got supporters because of that.
Anyway, though, he did
this. And that shorthand is why.
Yeah. He did this, and
I think it just sort of came to light that, oh wow, that thing that you have on your flag, that's from a very bad time.
It's an interesting, I feel like it's almost like a chess game, and one piece was taken, this kid did this, and that was a move. And now this piece got taken out from the other side. They were just we need to lash back kind of in some way and make and so they it's I don't know, it's an interesting why didn't this happen sooner? But this just became let's take a bad situation and
make it progressive.
Make it progressive.
Which I'm all for. I do understand both sides of the argument. It is a part of their history. They were the first state to secede from the Union, right? If my history is correct, South Carolina?
South Carolina,
yeah. First state to secede from the Union, but it also is, I always say this whenever people talk about the Civil War. The Civil War is one of those things that, when you learn about it, when you first learn about it, you find out it's about slavery. Right. When you learn a little bit more about it in school, you find out it's because of states' rights. But when you take a third look at it, you find out it was about slavery the entire time. Well, it's this is for states' right. A states' right to do what?
I think, it's definitely people made a lot of money off of slavery.
No, it's
imagine if you had a business and you didn't have to pay anybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to deny that, yes...
You just have to keep them alive.
The reason that we were a force to be reckoned with early on, an economical power, was because of slavery. That's kind of how we got our start.
So, I would just say, picture me. I have my dad had this farm, and he had these slaves, and now I'm going to have it. And, this is the life that I was taught, and I know, and And it's also like, and you feel like, you know, whatever, and then some dude in the North, as you're imagining, is like, he doesn't care. He lives in a city. He doesn't need like this. I don't know. I just think if you had a bunch of free labor and then someone was like, "You're not allowed to have that anymore,"
yeah, well,
you'd be real pissed. And you'd
well,
be
the big split about it was
don't take my money away.
Like the southern part,
fight over
the southern part of the states was large enough and fertile enough for people to actually have plantations for slaves. And I remember like looking at the stats, like a lot of people only have like one or two.
Oh
slaves.
no,
per household.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying the people I think in power, the people that had influence.
Yeah, no, they
not
realized
necessarily
it was
in
free
politics,
labor.
but like if they made their fortune on this, they were hoping to keep it around, maybe.
Yeah, but the North was like it's like the North didn't care as much because yes, they had like the domestic ones, the ones that helped out in the house.
Like I feel like the North
they didn't
was
make their fortune
still pretty
through.
racist at this time.
What?
I feel like in the North, people were still pretty racist.
No, yeah, they were, but it was how it was at the time.
Yeah.
But the North didn't make their profits the same way. That's why the Industrial Revolution was like so kind to them.
Yeah.
So I mean that originated the split.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a throwback to a very racist time. But I know there are some people that are already like equating it to the Nazi flag.
Yeah.
Like as horrible as what we did to slaves, we didn't fucking exterminate millions of them just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if anything, we should be more sensitive to the Native Americans because of that. Actually, you know what? I would love to see some statistics, like not how many people have died in the Holocaust and Stalin's Russia, but rather like how many slaves were executed versus how many Native Americans died. We wouldn't have those census numbers, would we? We wouldn't have any of those numbers.
Well, I think they have records about and accounts and things of how many people were there and how many people are not there, and
Okay, show of hands. Who's here? 1, 2, 3, 5. And then they come back 5 years after smallpox. Okay, when
they first come upon the, whatever, when they're like not threatened yet, and they have these populations. I don't know, but it's telling. I think when like the reparations or whatever you want to call it for the Native Americans, like the things they're afforded are very like here, have this land. It's tax free and like because there's so few of them that they can give them like these big allowances. Like like we're just gonna give this land to you, and we're just gonna like.
Well, it wasn't
like to get into college.
It wasn't the most generous. It wasn't.
I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's like it's like like
Oklahoma was
or something.
Like we gave them Oklahoma. We eventually took it back, but it was like getting them to Oklahoma, the Trail of Tears, and then finding out like it's a terrible place.
It's
like wow.
It's just like
we were dicks.
If you look at like the laws and the things that they had, like they're kind of like the exception to everything in the U.S. Like any law, or anything, it's like this could, you're not allowed to have this unless like you're a Native American, like unless you, whatever. I don't know. It's I just feel like there's so few that they have.
Yeah.
So they're like, we know this law is like overpowered, but we'll allow it because there's like 2 of you.
Yeah.
That's
wow, okay.
I'm just exaggerating. That's my point. I don't know. There's a few. But anyway, so this guy, so they took the flag. So now the flag, the Native American flag, the Confederate flag is now any merchandise that featured the Confederate flag has been pulled from Amazon.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pulled. Walmart pulled all of their merchandise that featured this in support of this abolishment of the Confederate flag.
I'm okay. Yes, a lot of people. I think the people that are reluctantly still selling stock are probably like, "Look, we already have all these flags.
Yeah.
We may as well get rid of them." By all means, like if someone says we need to shut it down, we will, but just get it while we still have them. We're not going to order anymore. Meanwhile, I was actually looking because like as much as the Confederate flag is now like is it banned now or is it like
I don't know about that.
I think it's if it's not banned, it's pretty damn close to it.
It just was something that was kind of like this is kind of probably racist, but I don't know. There's some. I'm sure I've run into people that have had them, and whenever they're confronted about it, they talk about something else. You know what I mean? They have some kind of way of explaining it to be about Southern pride and pride in like a land that they came from or something. Like I was born in Georgia. This is part of Georgia's history. Like,
which I get. I get it. I really do. I really do.
Whatever,
But it's like, okay, I always equate it to like the South Park episode.
Yeah.
There was an episode of South Park, I think it's actually called Chef Goes Nanners, where the only time you ever find out about South Park's town flag is in that episode. It's never brought up again. But the original flag was a white guy lynching a black guy. That's what South Park was. Which, I don't know how much sense that makes, considering it was Colorado.
Yeah.
Like, I think by that time
Which wasn't really... Yeah.
It's a state that no one really thinks about.
Well, I don't think by then it was a settled thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to look too deep into South Park's history.
Though,
but at the end of the kids don't realize anything wrong with it. The kids don't see the racial issue in that.
Yeah.
Chef is really the only one that does. And how they fix it was they get more people on the flag of different backgrounds, including one black guy, and the black guy is still being hanged, but he's smiling. So
he's included. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing of it is, as much as it's taboo or banned or near banned with the Confederate flag, the Nazi flag in Germany has been banned like ever since the fall of the Third Reich.
Yeah.
Like that has been like you cannot have it anymore.
I think
even if you do the Nazi salute, like there will be police there to stop you. But you can buy it. I'm actually on a website right now because I looked up Nazi paraphernalia.
In the U.S., it's free speech, so I don't think they can ban the Confederate flag. It's you're allowed to buy a Nazi flag or Confederate flag, or
I think
pretty much allowed to. Yeah,
it's going to be one of those things that if people see that you have it and you're not among like-minded companies, it's making a very strong statement.
Yeah, so
what I don't think should happen though. They're retconning the Dukes of Hazzard, I think. Yeah, they're going to remove the General Lee, which was the Duke boys.
I think that's
cars.
They shouldn't do that.
Had a Confederate flag on the hood of it. No, not on the hood, just on the top, just on the roof of the car. And I think now, I don't know if they're going to do it in further versions of Dukes of Hazzard, which I don't know how much money is still left in that.
My feeling
to be perfectly honest, if they do the dumb retconning of it and like blur it out in old episodes and movies,
blur it out, then oh my god,
or like just like wipe it entirely. I don't know how they would. I'm not that great.
Mask it. Or something.
And that's going to be dumb because we already saw what happened with that with E.T. Have you seen that?
What did they do in E.T.?
They took out the guns and they replaced them with walkie-talkies.
Really?
Yes. I'm not kidding about this. They took out the guns and replaced them with walkie-talkies.
It sounds like I remember the walkie-talkies, though, or something. I don't know.
It originally had guns, and they're like, well, this is still like one of those family kid movies, and why would they be pointing guns at a kid and a weird, shifty thing? It's not like they're pointing a gun back.
I feel like that's a little different, but this is like, to me, this is like, this was part of history. This was acceptable at one time. It's like the 30 banned Looney Tunes cartoons or whatever they never air because they have all kinds of racial stuff in them, stereotypes.
Actually, now that I'm on this website, which I don't know why I'm keeping with this, but yes, you can definitely buy a Nazi flag. And look.
Yeah, I remember you talking about having me search for that, and I was like,
I got it right here.
I'm not going to put
You can buy Nazi paraphernalia, everything with a swastika on it.
Yep.
Which I gotta say, I found out,
doesn't surprise me.
Thanks to Last Week Tonight, which they were going to have a field day with this past week. Like, good on John Oliver for actually having a new show with balls. But, I found out through that show they had a segment on the Philippines actually like having a weird fascination with Hitler.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's like they have like the Nazi armbands. They like dress him up. They dress people up as Hitler. There's like they like the swastika. It's weird. It's very weird. I think that might have something to do with the fact that maybe they thought Hitler had the right idea, which is that's not any better. But I know there's cultures in Eastern Asia that like pride themselves on being like the best iteration of human. Like Japanese are
Really?
incredibly racist.
Yes.
They hate everyone
I
other
know
than them.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll put a black guy in a cage. There's a fighter, I think, of an MMA fighter or something, and when he was in Japan for the press, he like did it, I think, because he thought it was, I don't know, he just did it because he didn't care. But they had him in a cage with a banana, eating it, like, and I think he just thought it was funny or something, and was just going along with it. But like,
I think Koreans are very preferable of their. You know what? These are all things that I remember learning from people in college, because there were a lot of Koreans, both like Korean American as well as like actual Koreans in a particular program, and I remember them like being very favorable towards each other. Whereas like I think in that program there were only like a couple of white guys, maybe one black guy. So I don't know, maybe it was like interests. But I do remember hearing like that stereotype that they are really preferential towards their own kind. Which is weird when everyone else in the school is like promoting diversity, and you finally realize everyone just kind of wants to be with people that look like them. It's strange.
I think it's important though, like the Civil War happened, like racism happens. It still happens. It's gonna happen. It happened somewhere. It's gonna happen somewhere else, and like.
But do you think removing the flag is going to like change people's opinions? Like, are they going to be like, oh well, why are you removing the flag? Because it's racist. It's racist.
But at one time that was acceptable, and to know that it's not now, it doesn't mean that we should remove it from the past. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you ignore the past, you're doomed to repeat it, and to like try to like cleanse and scrub the past.
Which is true, but I think it just belongs in a museum if that's the case. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was a show, like, I don't know. Like, it's not happening now on TV or something, or, like, if there was a show on today, and it featured a car with a Confederate flag, and then this kind of thing happened, and then the show decided to remove it, like, that's okay. But, like, I think this show happened and was acceptable at a time which is not now. And that's a way of looking back at and seeing what that time was like. Just like if we look at old cartoons that are racist,
or even books. People friggin' ban books,
because then people aren't going to believe it's just going to discount what actually happened. Like, oh, well, it must have not been that bad.
Yeah, they ban period books because it has like language in it that's just not acceptable now. Like friggin'
Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn has the N-word in it, and it's like. That's still, it's important literature.
On MTV, you'll hear it.
Yeah, no, you fucking will.
What are you protecting these? Like, what's the
They're
goal?
gonna find out anyway. But I mean, it's like, but I think eventually we are going to overcome it, or like make it a lot more taboo to be racist than it actually is. Because remember, at one point, this was like around World War I, we thought eugenics were a great idea. No, we did.
Yeah.
And then I think like that fizzled out once like there was actually a world leader that decided to purify the human race. So I think maybe at that time we were like, wow, I don't want to be like Hitler at all.
You know what's interesting?
Let's not do that.
What do you think if the way of reaching that didn't involve suffering or killing? What do you think?
I think it would take a fucking long time.
No, I'm saying...
I think generations would have to die out.
What if you had genetic manipulation and it can happen within your own lifetime? You could change your hair color or stuff like that. You know what I mean? What if you were able to decide how you looked? To a degree, maybe. Maybe it wouldn't be so advanced, but maybe you'd be able to change certain things, like if you could tan or not, or if you had... So then, I think you'd have some people that they'd still morally be against it, and there'd be other people who'd be like way overboard with it, just like plastic surgery or something today.
Maybe. No, you actually are kind of right.
But like, do you like? It's just I feel like we say like, you know, I don't know. Would everybody choose to look the same or a certain way?
I think we would all look Like
would everybody pick blonde hair and like blue
I think
eyes?
everyone. I think people would try and like strive towards their ideal version of beauty, which we're still going to see like big disparities on. Like some people think the most beautiful woman in the world is Beyonce. Some people think the most beautiful woman in the world is Kim. Whereas like people on the other side of the world, there's probably like a pop star there that's like the epitome of beauty, and they're going to all look like that person.
A lot of what your
but I don't know if we're ever going to get like a consensus. You know what I mean?
Well, no, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, even if you look at a page of, like, international supermodels, or even if you look at, like, Miss America or Miss Universe, it's like, everyone... there are people that think every contestant... There is a person for every contestant that thinks they are, like, the epitome of beauty. Even if they come, like, dead last in the pageants, the people are like, oh my god, they were robbed. Like, this how could you not think this is the best person? I guess. Which, I'm actually kind of, like, as much as I don't care about pageants, I think it's, like, nice of them to not rank everybody and just pick, like, the top 3 or 4 people. Because wouldn't that be a blow to the fucking skull if you found out you were dead last in a beauty pageant? Either that means you are ugly or you are common. And I don't know what they would think is worse.
Yeah.
I'm just like everyone else. Yeah, welcome to the real world. Which means everyone's ugly. Whoa, hold on.
Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like it would be one thing for us because we're in life and we're established we're accustomed to how we look. So we would probably make changes, but they would be small changes which wouldn't overshadow how we originally looked.
Yeah,
and I think if you were like a kid or something and you didn't go through like growing up yet, you'd probably do a lot more. You'd be okay with it because you weren't like set in like your face yet or something.
Yeah, it's like
it weirds me out.
It's like if you ever played like a GTA game, and it's like, oh, you want a haircut? You could change your entire facial structure. Yeah. Maybe it would be like that. Maybe it would just be like wow. Maybe it would just be like a phone booth you can step into, and it's just like, so, how do you want to look today? Make me look exactly like Jay Leno. I have some banks to rob.
I mean, to a degree right now, like, there are we have style that, like, is, like...
Oh, now I know what happened. People would ask to look like Bill Murray, and then everyone would live out those fantasies, like, Bill Murray just stole my French fry and told me no one would believe me. Yeah, Bill Murray slapped my kid.
Could you imagine if it was that good? If you could just look like anyone, and people would like clone themselves into current celebrities and stuff all the time.
Yeah,
you get accustomed to seeing like Justin Bieber everywhere.
I hope we never get that superficial. I don't know who I would believe at that point anymore.
To an extent, like today, everybody... I mean, I think people are still individuals, and
of course
you might get a haircut like Justin Bieber, or like, you know, you might get some haircut that's in, and get the shoes that are in, but you still are yourself. You're just, you know...
I could see that. I think... I don't know. I'd like to see like.
But it'd be interesting if there were like facial fat. Like if you could change your face like that.
Then that would be amazing. That'd be perfect.
Imagine there would be no reason. Fads though, like just like the new thing is to wear your hat on the side. Like you'd be like your new thing is to have a crooked nose, like, you know, or something.
Yeah, no, that would
like
be
you
incredible.
Don't care about your like there'll be a stage where everybody's perfect and.
We all look like gods.
And then somebody's like, it's cool to not look
But
perfect.
then again, at that point, once we get to the point where, like, okay, well, now you can change your look and look like anyone you want, I think at that point we would actually care about personality.
Yeah, it'd be like...
You look completely different than how you were a week ago. Yeah, baby. You know what? Now I remember. I don't want to be around you ever.
There's a book... It's really cool. It's a really cool concept. It's called Snow Crash. And you basically, the internet becomes this big... what do you call it? The internet becomes like central to life. And people plug themselves into the internet and experience it in 3D. Mm-hmm. And so like you can buy internet real estate and... your avatar depends on how rich you are. So if you're poor, like you have a Minecraft-esque like pixelated avatar, and if you're rich, you have like
stunning human,
like like Witcher 3 graphics avatar.
Oh, all right.
But like I guess also you can if you're rich, like your avatars can be very highly customized, and if you're poor, like you have a Barbie doll cookie cutter cutout one.
I could, you know what? I could see that. That sounds like a lot of free to play stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get like the free to play avatar.
But you wanna do some offbeat news?
Sure.
Yeah, just to kind of close this out, because we still do that. We still do as much as we do those segments where we just kind of like say what's on our mind. I want to like keep that to a post show, but you know what? We're still gonna do some weird news. Okay, so in the theme of marriage, because gay marriage, yay. I'm actually thinking of auto tuning, or at least attempting to auto tune when I do something like that. Keep saying it. 43% of people don't know how much their spouse makes, and there's like a sizable percent. Yeah, 4 in 10 married people they cannot correctly identify the salary range of their spouse.
I think that's unusual.
And 10% of the people that got it wrong were off by more than 25,000.
Wow.
So it's like, even if you had like an idea of what your significant other does, you might have an assumption of how much money they make.
I feel like it's interesting that, I don't know. I feel like it's interesting that people get physically intimate and emotionally intimate, but won't. But money somehow culturally is a thing that they keep private.
Maybe, but
I don't know.
If you're like married to this person, you're already sharing finances.
Theoretically.
Unless you don't, in which case, I don't even know how the hell that got past marriage counseling.
Yeah, if you just buy your own stuff. Like it's part of the benefit of marriage, like tax wise.
Okay, there was a day that we normally do this show on Saturday. I ended up meeting up with a friend to do it on Sunday. So Saturday I had off, and my fiance, who works at a bank, finally got me in to do a shared account. So I'm still into the mindset like, yeah, I'm gonna have my own, but we do have this shared one now, so I may as well throw money in there. And like, we don't pay for a lot of things now. We're not living on our own yet, so it's weird to think that maybe I should put all of my money in that account, because otherwise, what's the fucking point?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think.
I mean, it would be. It's weird. It's like a big step. You know what I mean? To trust somebody enough to not fuck up your entire bank account overnight.
Yeah. And it's not.
I bought this new TV. We were supposed to afford food.
It's like it involves your credit and everything too. It's like all latched together now.
Yeah, it is. And like she makes some like you could say this about any person that you were dating. For everything that I would say, she would have a story for that too. But she will buy clothes when she doesn't have money and put it on the credit card.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, I'm supposed to be saving up for a wedding and I want to buy a new laptop.
Yeah.
So, like, we both can make dumb purchases. The problem is, the real difference is, I don't do it on impulse. She will.
Yeah, I'm not big impulsive.
Marriage is going to be fun, but it's going to be
spending.
fucking infuriating if that keeps up. That's going to be great. But, like, about half of the people that are married in this nation, both men and women, don't know.
That's strange to me. I mean, I would think that, I mean, for one thing, I don't know. I'm envisioning that both people work.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And
how much does your husband make? Oh, I think he makes about 50,000. Your husband over there, the one in the full body cast that can't work. Yeah.
The second thing is maybe they lied.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, that might be it.
And they told them around a certain amount, and it's a little less or a little more for whatever reason.
I could see that. But
they got a raise and they didn't talk about it.
So that's one of those funny tidbits to know. Like,
well, what's the number?
Okay, it's 43%. And
what's the percentage of people that get divorced in the first?
Oh God,
it's like the same.
That's like close to It's
probably just like people that don't communicate with each other.
That's like
that are gonna fail.
Isn't that like one out of every other marriage?
That's 50%, right?
Yeah.
So 43% is probably.
Although it seriously is like people who like serial marry that are fucking up that percentage. Like for every person that gets married once and like is happy, there's like another one who's getting married for like their fourth time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? How about this for love and devotion? So there was this 42-year-old man who, once he got divorced, there we go. He got divorced in 2010, and he covered himself in 29 tattoos of Miley Cyrus.
I remember this.
Did you hear about this development now?
No.
Miley Cyrus got wind of it, called the tattoos ugly because, as we all know, you should never get a tattoo of someone's face because it never looks good. No matter what.
It doesn't look good.
It doesn't, because bodies change first and foremost, so the second the elasticity starts to go, their faces look like they're melting. And second, you would have to be a professional artist, period, to recreate someone's face on any canvas, let alone someone's skin.
And it's definitely, I mean, I'm sure there are ones that look really good, but for every one that you see on the internet that's nice...
Yeah, it looks like though a lot of the tattoos are like of her name. Like, look at that.
Yeah, I remember he's got it on his back.
He's got it on his back, neck, hands, arms, chest. But now Miley Cyrus got wind of it, called them ugly, and now he wants all of them removed.
Yeah, he probably also anyway wanted them all removed. He's obsessed with her though? Is that his thing?
There's a dude that holds a record of the most pictures of my face. He has like 18 pictures of my face, and they're really ugly. That's what she said. I don't know if...
maybe she just thinks she's ugly.
I don't... Maybe it's one of those... Maybe it's one of those things that once you see the original story, maybe you'll find out why he did it. Maybe it was out of devotion, or maybe this man relates so much to what she is talking about, which is odd, but I'm not going to question what music does to people.
People find connections
in the weirdest place. But I
was talking with my friend about tattoos just to say, and like so we were like doing Google image searches of tattoos, and many of them look bad.
Yes.
Or like they don't look bad, but I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I'm over it. Like
yeah, right.
Like
look at, I got two things about tattoos.
I don't know how long I could keep my desktop background. Like, I don't know, a tattoo. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, exactly. I can't think of anything permanently. Like, I've been thinking about getting a KOL tattoo.
Yeah.
And because I've been playing the game, I've had an account since 2007, and I've been playing the game regularly for like almost 3 years now, after like hiatuses.
Yeah.
But my problem is, fucking look at me. I have hair everywhere. If I get a tattoo, it's not going to show up. Period.
You could get it on like your bicep or something.
Look at... Maybe, but it's...
You'd see
maybe, but... At that point, I wear sleeves, and I would probably have to cover up for work, so what's the fucking point? Know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, it's not even a question of, oh, I don't know if this person would like it. Fuck them! No one gets tattoos because of other people. Well... this guy with the Miley Cyrus tattoos did. But, okay, so I remember there was a collection of pictures. It was probably like on College Humor or Dorkly, and it was like these really artistic tattoos. Like, we're talking like they could be indie album covers.
Yeah,
because of just like how abstract they are, and people were like, these tattoos are amazing. But you also got enough people. What? That is a pretty good tattoo of two toasters fucking. It looks like the toast has like a little scorch mark of a heart on it.
One toaster is mounting the other toaster, and they're both plugged in.
Yeah,
and the one that's being mounted is firing bread into the air.
But
I don't know why you get it.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is, I immediately thought those tattoos are not going to age well at all. It's like the ones
Yeah.
There was like one in particular. I remember it was just like a couple of circles, like a lion and a bird or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the second that needs to be touched up like regularly. It looks like someone did like pencil art on him. You know what I mean? Like it looks like it looks incredibly well done, high quality. I'm not going to argue that, but there's like a certain okay, like look at this. Oh, for Christ's sakes, stop this, Pinterest. I don't have a Pinterest account. I don't want to sign up for your shitty website. Why did I really just call Pinterest shitty? Maybe because I'm not a girl. Maybe because I'm not a girl. No, okay, it's like the ones with like the fading and the shading and like it looks, yeah, it looks like a very well done. Like, okay,
yeah, there's some that I like. I was looking around for them,
but there's another one that I remember, like in lieu of I guess getting something. I guess in lieu of something that looks edgy, people did like scarring tattoos. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that shit? It's like that is scary. At that point, yeah. Here, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like incredibly detailed. We're not talking about the scar tattoos here. We're talking about the really artsy ones. Like this one is one of a tree, and it's got like shading in the background, and like it looks like a sky. And I immediately think like well, that's got to be touched up eventually. Like there's the finer points on that are not going to carry over that long.
Like this is like.
Yeah, like that one's a feather. That one's a feather.
It's like a really detailed...
It's a really detailed feather. I wish I could find that collection again. But I think just like the people who really like are willing to cut themselves and like have it heal so that they have a scar tattoo, like that's kind of fucked up. That's a little fucked up. At least that is.
I like that one. I don't know.
It's a Pop-Tart. It's a popular tart.
I don't know. It's so bad to show you. Just like, be like, I'm just going to show you a bunch of pictures while we talk on an audio-only format. But
I don't care.
I love this style.
Fuck the viewers. Fuck the listeners.
This kind of, like, strange...
Well, like, what would you get?
Look, and this is the same artist. Like, it's just, like... I like the way the lines, the heaviness of the lines are.
Like, what would you get for a tattoo?
Sure.
I told you mine, and it's already dorkly. It's for a little bit of context for people who don't care about my interest. It would be and I actually have a shirt of this too. It's a stick figure with a sword and a martini, and I would probably get like a few little symbols around that, like one of each class. You know what I think? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not as hardcore of a fan as some people. Like. I feel
like you should get something that you particularly like in the game that's not necessarily like the main logo.
Maybe, but
like
I think even like I have a tough time explaining. I have a shirt with like fangs on it, and it's a saber-tooth lime, which I still have a very hard time explaining that to people. At least this was before smartphones, before I could just like pull it up. I could pull up like a wiki link. It's like, okay, well here it is. That's it.
Like, if I was gonna get... I wouldn't get words or, like, weird... I really... You know when there's, like, a mural kind of picture and it's, like, 2 or 3... Like that Three Wolves Moon Night picture? And it's, like, the faded head... It's, like, the wolves' heads are in a collage of... I would never get, like, a collage kind of thing. Or anything extensive. I would get something... reasonably small somewhere, and it would just be like a thing or like a squid or like
a singular squid,
a squid, an apple. Like it would be something isolated, kind of like
its own thing.
Like the Spectral Pickle Factory. Like I like I like in this game. There's a pickle factory that used to be there. And
now it's not
terrible happened.
Wait, I don't think we ever getting like context for what, but now it's like
now when the time is right, you know,
it comes out of nowhere, and you can get like ghostly pickles.
Mists. Yeah, there's ghostly pickle workers.
Yeah,
in a ghostly spectral pickle factory.
Like
that once existed. So.
But then again, it's one of those things like.
And then it returns to the mists, and it's.
But then you have to like fucking explain that to people, and then you're gonna get the ones that are like. Oh, well, he's got that fucking... the guy with the fucking tattoo. Oh, that
I mean,
guy.
I wouldn't get a tattoo of a drawing of a building.
I already know. As much as I don't care what people think, I still have a Facebook account, and I gotta say, after this gay marriage thing has happened, people have been like rainbowifying their profile pictures.
I've seen some logos that have done this.
Yeah, and
sites.
you know what? It's gonna be weird to do that. It's gonna be weird for me to do that for two reasons. One, I think my profile picture right now is like of me and my fiance.
Yeah.
So for me to say like, yes, we support gay rights and we support gay marriage, even though like there's nothing to support anymore, it's legal. So there's no more war on that. Well, I guess the war is like getting it accepted.
You can still support it.
Yeah.
Not be against it.
But now it's like, okay, well, we're a straight couple in love, and
it's not good enough anymore.
It's a very mixed message.
You need to bring.
We're gay lovers.
Change your profile picture. Yeah.
We're gay lovers, but you're a man and a woman. Don't you fucking misgender me.
Yeah.
And secondly, I hate these trends. I really do. It was like there was a time on Facebook when the Supreme Court was they were ready to give out a decision like, is it okay for gays to wed in the like at all? This was like back in 2013, I think. And people had their profile pictures of like red with a pink equal sign, showing that you were like in support of that, and it became like a giant fucking thing. So I hate doing trends like that, mostly because I don't care enough about my own profile picture to really do it.
I think this whole pronouns thing is a little silly.
Oh,
just a little.
What you mean when people are like pick their own pronouns?
Not that I don't think it's bad that if you were a guy but you identify as not a guy, that you can ask people to use these other pronouns, especially if you if you stop looking like a guy. But I think they, them, their kind of thing, it's not really how it's supposed to be, you know?
Yeah, I
it's
think
just not.
I think that's abusing language.
Just makes the language so weird, and
I think that is a clear symptom of special snowflake syndrome. Like you are not happy just being a person. You need to be something.
I remember
more.
like hearing about it, and now I've like seen it in profiles. Like, if you talk to me, please like
refer to me as G, Jer, Jem.
I haven't heard that, but
that's actually that is like literally
that's
people
better than
people will do like my pronoun is XIR, like Jir. You know what I mean? It's like and you know what? I think it's giving people this.
I would rather have a new word like that than
I don't know
they, which implies like
there's
plurals.
the plural. Yeah,
them.
I don't know. I think as much as people are like very uptight about pronouns, I don't know a lot of people. I think it's like just cases on the internet, honestly, or like if I'm running with like a more vanilla crowd or something. But I think it's people giving people a false sense of satisfaction. Like, I'm different, not because of things that I've done or things I've said, but because of how I identify. It's like, well, it's kind of like it's low hanging fruit there. Anyone could really do that if they really wanted to.
Like your sexuality isn't like if I'm gonna go get ice cream,
it shouldn't define you. Honestly,
it's not like involved. Like
it's a.
I go there, I pick the flavor. I'm having a conversation with the guy, which is like polite, very like service level. Like, hi, I'd like to get this flavor. It's not like me.
Hi, I'm gay. Can I get chocolate?
Yeah.
It's
but serve it to me in a gay way.
Serve it to me in a gay way. Yeah, like I demand you to refer. I want you to bow before you give me the ice cream.
Gay people don't do that. Straight people aren't like, oh my god. I don't know. It's just who does this? Who?
Plus, I can almost guarantee, as like a final note on this, I can almost guarantee that if people are talking about you to other people, they're not going to use your pronouns. It's just instead of saying like Mike went to the market, I think he's getting bananas. It's like Mike, and he's like he prefers to be called Jir. He's going to the market. That's all. You know what I mean? Like they'll only do it to your face, and even then, it's like no. It works if people do it like and they just adopt it. Period. It doesn't work if it's just to you. It's like when you modify. It's like when you modify a game and you swap out the pieces for only things that you can see. Like, no one else can see it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, if you were playing chess and you were playing, like, one person's got, like, just white and the other person's got, like, Simpsons characters, like, that doesn't change anything. You know what I mean? And even then, you're not going to bring that with you everywhere. No one's going to respect that.
Yeah, it's very...
Sorry, you can't come to this tournament with Simpsons pieces, but they're my favorite. They're mine.
It's inconvenient to take something that, like, someone is going to see that you're a guy and call you, like, if you're physically male, and they're going to call you sir, or you're going to look physically female enough that they're going to make the jump and call it, you know.
Yeah, honestly, if people, like, say, like, oh, how are you doing today, sir? But it would be off-putting if immediately they said, please use my pronouns.
Like, you can't go
like,
around...
Okay, get over there.
I don't know.
Sir, would you like to come this way? I go by... Dude, just get over there.
It's like there are stairs and there's, like, a ramp. There's not, like, you know, I don't know, you know. I feel like it's like the world is set up in a certain way, and to try to do... It's you're just going to be fighting an uphill battle all the time.
Yeah, I think so. As much as inclusivity is a safe thing and it's something that people want to, like, go for, yeah, I think you got to be practical, honestly. But I mean, if you feel the need to fight that battle, like, it's more power to you.
It's offensive to me if anyone makes eye contact with me, and so then when I'm in public and anyone does,
that is setting yourself up for disaster.
It feels like that to me. Like,
I think it trivializes it, you know?
It's an acceptable thing. It's the way that people aren't trying to be rude to you. They're trying to accommodate you.
Or they're trying to just, like, address you how they would anyone else.
With this thing that they could have. There's no way for them to know about. So I don't know.
Like I said, if you're willing to fight that battle, all the more power to you. I mean, if you were a friend and you decided to start going by those pronouns, yes, I will meet you halfway. But if you are very insistent on it and you don't want to accept that people make mistakes, like they will call you by the regular pronoun, and you're like, yeah, just from now on, just do this. But I mean, like, if you don't just, like, let it slide, sometimes I'm probably not going to, not even to be a dick. Sometimes it'll just be like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we're finally getting progressive as a nation.
Yeah,
we're doing
cool.
Good.
My friend's comment was like, at least like it's cool that we're finally catching up. Like,
yeah, right.
So,
it only fucking took, like, I don't know how long.
I don't think, you know, it seems like a pretty good situation.
I mean, it's terrible that, like, the that awesome event was overshadowed by, like, acts of terrorism, but
it feels like we can maybe focus on other stuff a little bit now.
Yeah, well, now we don't have to worry about if a politician, just as, like, a last note, if a politician says they will work to repeal same-sex marriage or Obamacare, like, now you can know that they're lying to you. Because they can't promise that now.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, very hard to... It's not going back.
Alright. Bernie Sanders, 2016. Let's do this. Alright. This has been an awesome episode. Thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, get people to listen to this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Tell your friends. I'm sure eventually I'm going to, like, spread the word, like, through stickers or something with QR codes, but I have to design that first.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Later, guys.
Later.